So, want to put this out there. I was watching other trucker James Best's live stream here, and I noticed that a lot of guys were getting fairly substantial sums of money for the EIDL, the SBA loans. Um, and somebody had asked what the what the amount was based on, and uh, Mr. Best had commented that it was based on your gross profits, which is essentially gross revenue, um, for 2019. And that explains why there's guys getting, $117,000 check, loans, and uh, even his, $64,000 loan. And some other people were up north of 100,000 in the comments as well. um, when you fill out the application, if you want to call it that, for the EIDL, for the SBA loan, it basically asks you two questions in terms of financials. First question is, what was your gross revenue for 2019? You put that in there. Second question is, what was your cost of goods sold for 2019? Now, based on the dollar amounts that these guys are getting, considering that they're single truck owner operators, and by James Best's answer to that question, if I was you guys that got those high dollar loans, I would be looking into some things uh, because the cost of goods sold is supposed to be your overhead, because your goods sold is your service. And so the cost of goods sold is the cost that you incurred to acquire or manufacture or essentially make happen that service. So it's all of your overhead, uh, and the loan amount is not based on your gross. The loan amount is based on your net profit from 2019. That's why they ask you those two questions, because obviously your gross minus cost of goods sold, i.e., your overhead, would be your net profit. Um, and so, if I was you guys, I would be looking into that because the day might come when they do say, "Holy shit, this guy's a single truck owner operator," and he's basically saying that he's net profiting shit 117, what, like 230, 40 something $1,000. I would venture a guess that, I mean, they might even look at that, like a guy like that, they might look at his tax return from 2019 and be like, holy shit, over here he said, that he had a profit of 30 or 40 something thousand, but on his taxes, he only paid taxes, based on like $90,000 worth of net profit. So I'm I just caught that in the live stream. So I'm just putting out this quick video that y'all might want to look into that. Um, I, I may be wrong. I mean, I didn't really know what cost of goods sold meant, so I ended up asking my accountant, and that was the way that they explained it to me. Was your cost of goods sold is essentially whatever you had to put out, uh, money wise, uh, including labor, to basically earn that gross income. So in terms of trucking, your goods sold is your service, and so the cost of goods sold is, you know, whatever overhead, whatever write offs you had to provide that service. Um, at any rate, I just caught that. I wanted to put it out there. I know this is like the third video I've put out today, but I know there's going to be guys running over the long weekend. So hopefully, it gets out there, and the right people do some looking into that, because there might be some guys coming up 6, 9, 12 months from now saying, "Oh shit, the IRS is coming after me for you know fraud or tax evasion or whatever." Because I mean, if you're getting north of 100 grand back and it's based off of your net profit, I would think that would pop some red flags eventually. Because I'm gonna venture a guess that these guys ain't claiming, you know 200,000 plus in net profit on their taxes. If they are, they're not doing their taxes right. Either that, or they're making, $450,000 a year, to the truck. But so, just putting that out there, something y'all might want to look into. A little word of caution. At any rate, have a great weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Bye.